Hey, welcome to Love Your Adventure. And today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my journey coming to really learn to love myself and being confident. And the thing is, there is no such thing as like a step by step how to onto being confident. There's so many things on the internet of like, do these three things and you'll be good in 2 weeks or something. I don't know. Probably not that fast, but it's always this misconception that you can just do a few certain things and eventually you'll get there really, kind of thing. But that kind of journey is too personal. Every single person is going to have something different that they need to work on in themselves. It's not something that you could just generalize. There's no band-aid solution to feeling low self-esteem or anything like that. So I'll start off with just how it was for me growing up. So going into elementary school, I was totally fine with myself and who I was, really. When you're little, you don't really care. But as I got older, there was just a lot of things that started building up on top of each other. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and when you're diagnosed with a huge illness like that, it kind of becomes a part of who you are. And I was so insecure about it. I always thought people wouldn't want to be my friend because I was diabetic. I always thought people were looking at me and they thought I was some sort of hospital patient. I don't know, when I had my needles out, and people thought I did drugs in junior high because I had needles and syringes. But and that really made me insecure. That was one of those things. I was really bad in relationships with just friends and all that. You can, just when you're insecure and you're with your friends, I'm sure that if you've ever felt like that, you know that it's really hard to accept compliments for one, or to really feel like they're gonna be there for you all the time, even if they really are gonna be there for you. I had amazing friends in junior high, and I still felt like I was alone, like I didn't have friends. And that was solely me. That was not them. They were reaching out to me, and it was just the fact that I didn't feel good about myself that really impacted that. So I was really good at pointing out my own flaws, and I'm sure that if you've ever felt like you've had low self-esteem or even just haven't felt confident for something, it's really easy to just see every single little thing you're doing wrong and to just make it a part of your life. You're like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't walk out the dog in time, I didn't get this assignment in, I'm failing at this, why can't I just be better? And that's how I always felt. And it's not like I'm just cured, like, ta-da, I feel confident all the time, look at me, kind of thing. It's just, to be really honest with you, it's more like just a peace of mind that it's okay to fail, and that it's okay to not know 100% what I'm doing. And I've gone a long way. I was too scared to ask for ketchup at a restaurant. I was too scared to pick up the phone, to call anybody, to knock on doors. I hated that. Or to even ask for permission to go to the bathroom. I would not do that. Because that was so scary. What if the teacher said no? What if they were like, yeah, go sit back down? I don't know. I was just scared of a lot of really silly things. Or even just approaching people and saying hi to new people. That was really hard. I always felt like people didn't want to like me. People didn't need to hear what I had to say. But now I've gotten so far. I feel like sometimes I'm still like, yeah, I'm kind of okay, kind of thing. But once I look back on all the things I've gotten to do and how far I've grown, I can see it's just so much. Shown a lot of progress in me. For one, I was on a competitive hip-hop team. And it's funny because all the time I'm like, yeah, I was on a hip-hop team, and people are like, wow, and I'm like, yeah, I was just a hip-hop team. And then once I think about it, I'm like, actually, that's really cool that I got to compete on stage and do something that I love like that. I also ran for student body president at my school. And it's not like I won or anything, but the fact that I actually ran, and part of running and doing all that, you have to do a speech in front of the school. And it was a small school, so don't be thinking like, ooh, huge public school, she ran for president. No, it was a smaller school, but the fact that I was brave enough to actually try and to really put myself out there and make the whole campaign and get people on my side, that was something huge for me, a huge step in my journey to seeing who I really am. It's hard because feeling like you're just not okay with yourself, that controls a lot of your life. But I'm going to share with you a few things that I've done that have helped me, that most people don't really think about or know about when it comes to having better self-esteem and finding your self-worth. So often there's a lot of awesome things out there. People say, be more positive to yourself and talk to yourself better and stop saying, negative things to yourself. And yes, I am a full advocate for that. But that's one of those really common things that people tell you, like, so, affirmations in the morning, tell yourself you're great and look in the mirror. And I think, yes, do that. But I have other things that most people don't really think about. First thing on my journey of figuring out who I am and all this stuff was, so the first thing that a lot of people don't really realize is that self-love and really loving yourself not always comes from having like a nice spa day and taking a day off and all that stuff. I think, yes, you should definitely have time for yourself, but true self-love grows in serving others and in loving others. And that's gonna sound so weird and like so different from what everyone tells you. And they're like, yeah, you just need to take a week to yourself and all that stuff. And yes, you should definitely take time to take a break and cool down. Everyone needs that. But the people that are truly confident and truly happy are the ones serving other people and are the ones that are genuinely loving those around them. One of the instances where I learned this or relearned it, because I was just this last year in just my senior year of high school. I was just with my school at a theater trip, and we were waiting for the awards. We were just in the theater waiting for these awards and to come out for this competition. And I was just feeling icky. I was really missing my best friend. Everyone was laughing and having fun around me, and I just felt out of it. I felt alone. And if you would have asked me how I felt about myself, I didn't feel too great. So I just left the theater and just kind of walked on the outer part of the building and just sat down on a bench by myself just to think about it. And honestly, I'll tell you, I was kind of hoping someone would have seen me, and I was like, I'm feeling bad, come talk to me kind of thing. It's just so silly when I say it. But yeah, I was just kind of hoping someone would come talk to me. And I was sitting there and no one really came. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I looked over, and down the hallway on a bench, just like mine, but just down a little ways, was this girl. She was a little younger. She was just sitting there alone, looking just as miserable as I did. Just sitting alone, kind of looking at the floor. And it just made me like so sad. I was like, oh, like, you don't have to feel that way. Like, and I was like, okay, well, here comes the test. I know I need to go talk to her. I felt like I needed to. But I am the one that needs to be talked to. Someone needs to come talk to me and help me feel better. So why am I the one having to do this? And then I was like, okay, just do it. And so I counted off. I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. And I got up and I just walked over to her, said hi, sat by her, and we just started talking, like, just about little things. She was talking about what school she's from, what grade she's in, what competition she was participating in and stuff like that, and it was just small talk and it was okay. And then something switched. Like, all of a sudden she started telling me why she was so sad. And it was such a different feeling, I can't even describe it. And you could just see the burden like lift off of her, and she just started smiling a little bit. And once she told me what was wrong and everything, I just kind of sympathized with her and empathized, and just told her it was okay and that I felt like that too. And after a little bit, someone came out and found her and said it was time to go back in. And she just looked over and she said, "This girl is so nice." And everything was different. It was a completely different feeling. I walked into the theater like not feeling nearly as awful. And the fact that I could make someone else's day and help them feel love was amazing to me, because it's so hard. It's so hard when you're feeling like that. But when you go and you serve someone else, you start feeling better about yourself. And I'm not saying like go serve people because you feel bad kind of thing, but that principle is always there. Like, maybe sometimes it has to start that way. We're like, I feel bad, I should go serve someone. But eventually, if you do it enough times, you're gonna start serving people just because you want to. And that is a huge part of being confident and finding your self-worth, is in loving others. Second thing on my journey to finding my confidence. This is something not a lot of people think about, but here it is. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. Get yourself out of your head. In your head is where all the negativity comes in, and where all the self-doubt comes in, and you're not good enough, and this isn't right, and look at all these things you messed up on, and no one loves you, and all that stuff. Those are, ew, gross, icky thoughts. We don't want them, right? We want more positive thoughts. But how do we get more positive thoughts? For one, it's kind of training your brain, right? But if you involve yourself into something bigger, a greater cause than just this little you, and I'm not saying you're little, don't take that wrong, I'm just saying like this space, and then you start looking into something bigger, like serving in your community, or just like finding people every day to cheer up. Maybe you're gonna go find one person, one stranger each day to go say hi to and just make sure that they're doing good. Maybe you're going to make a new friend. You're going to involve yourself with the people that you don't really know that well, but you've been talking to for a while. Involve yourself into something bigger. I learned this when I went, my senior year of high school was really hard. There was a lot going on at home. My mom was sick, and I couldn't come to school very often. I was only going like twice out of every 4 days. So I was like going 50% of the time I was going to school, because my mom couldn't drive, right? She was really sick. It was really awful. And so I was really feeling down. I was like getting depressed, and I was not feeling good about myself and just different aspects of my life. But I got really involved with my school. I ran for president. I mentioned this in one of the other videos, but I ended up just being on the student council. I was also on the Hope Squad, and I was also like, I was doing a lot of things. I was also dance captain for my theater. And the thing is, I was really busy, but it kind of didn't give me time to feel that bad about myself, because I was constantly like serving other people at my school and making sure everyone was okay. Being part of the student body, I was helping organize things like student body presidency, kind of thing. So I was helping organize things and making sure people felt good and were feeling okay, because I was kind of, I want to say forced, because I did volunteer to be that, but it kind of forced me out of this little bubble that I was in, this little self-negativity bubble, And there's different ways you can, get involved at church and school, and that is really going to push you out of feeling bad about yourself. And you know, it's not like it's just gonna cure you, like, boom, I'm feeling so much better. Like, it's just a different way of it opens your eyes to other people that need you. Because now you're part of something and you're important. Because you always have been, but now that it's more obvious when you're a part of something like that. Thank you so much for watching. I know that one was a little bit of a longer video, but it's my story and I'm so glad you were here for the whole thing. Remember, you are loved. And I'll see you in the next video.